So we have bad news. Ozzy Osbourne is not with us today, and forever. He died before some hours in 22 of July of 2025 in the age of 76. Uh, for us, for every metalhead and rocker, Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness and the Madman, was a legend of our music, one of the first legends, together with Black Sabbath. We can say that they created the heavy metal sound, and he was a legend not only for his music, of course, with Black Sabbath, uh, the 9 albums of Black Sabbath together with Ozzy, 8 in the beginning and the last. Also, the last album of Black Sabbath was with the number 13 that came out in 2013 was with Ozzy as the vocalist. Not only these albums of Black Sabbath, and also with his personal band Ozzy Osbourne, and his also 13 full-length albums of him. Not only as a vocalist and not only as a singer and as a music of his music inheritance, also all his extravaganza stories about his persona, about all his sex, drugs, drunk and roll stories. All these things together uh, made Ozzy as we know him until now. Together with that, I have to say that, and I'm very, uh, I can say that I respect Ozzy because of his fight against anti-Semitism. Uh, I can say that together with his wife Sharon Osbourne, they were very against anti-Semitism. Sharon, she is a child of a Jewish father, and until until his last days, they were very very against the fight of against um, something that was everything that was against Israel or against the Jews. They were against the Waters of Pink Floyd and his anti-Semitism, against Kanye West, if you remember. And for this reason, also as a Jew, I can say that I am very, very glad about his feelings until his last days. In any way, in any way, for his memory, I want to make a worst to best, let's say worst to best, about his albums, about his 13 studio albums as Ozzy Osbourne. Here I will not speak about his Black Sabbath albums. Um, Together, I have to say that there are some people that they when they helped Ozzy in all his way. Of course, Sharon Osbourne, his wife, second wife, that she gave him life. After that, he left Black Sabbath in '78. It was very difficult for him. He was for some months inside a hotel room with beers, with pizza and drugs, in a very and alcohol, in a very difficult situation about his life. And Sharon Osbourne came and saved him, and she was with him until the last day. We have also to speak about Randy Rhoads, the guitarist, the famous guitarist, rest in peace. Also, he died very young. He was with him in the first albums of his solo career. Bob Daisley also. Unfortunately, afterwards they have these fights about the whole thing about the music afterwards. Zach Wild of Black Label Society, the guitarist, he was very, very close to Ozzy and to Sharon. Gus G, the guitarist, the Greek guitarist of Firewind, he was also with him in the album Scream. Rob Turilliov of Metallica today, he was also with him in No More Tears. Zach Wild was I'm for Zach Wild. He was the bassist Turillo in No More Tears. Yes, yes. So with all this, let's find out about his studio albums of John Michael Osborne, of Ozzy Osbourne, of The Prince of Darkness and the Madman. Let's make a worst to best list in my, of course, point of view, personal point of view. In the last place I will put Down to Earth. Came out in 2001, if I'm not sure. It was the 8th album of him in the beginning of the millennium. For me, it's a little bit more modern, the sound in this album, and I'm not very connected with this album. Next place, the last album of him, of 2022. Everybody knew in these years that because of his illness of Parkinson, it was not good, his health, and it will be the last album of him. This and also the album before, they were the last albums. Patient number 9, the 13th album of him, and together with that, or he has here a song by the name Immortal. Yeah. And then in the next place, the 12th album of him, Ordinary Man, also came out in 2020 when he was ill of Parkinson. And if you read the songs, yeah, All My Life, Goodbye, Ordinary Man with Elton John, Under the Graveyard, Today is the End, you understand the whole thing. Now, next place, one album that he was with covers, Undercover, in 2005 came out. I can say that also he liked very much the Beatles, if you remember that. Here we have also the song Changes of Black Sabbath. He sang it with Kelly, with his daughter. Many people also they speak about the reality shows, the Osbournes. If you remember, in the end of the 90s, the beginning of the millennium, this show, the reality show with Sharon and 2 children of him, Kelly and John. Many people they don't like it. No, Kelly and Jack. And many people they don't like it, and I understand that. Now, in any case, next place, Scream with Gus G from the Greek guitarist from Saloniki. Came out in 2010. Okay, maybe this was the last album that he was healthy. This album, and under a if I'm not sure, yes. In the next place, Black Rain. This album came out in 2007. Many people they don't like it, but I prefer it from the last albums of OZZY. I prefer it more. And now from here and afterwards, they're the classical albums of him, in my point of view. No More Tears of 1991. Many people like this album. It's a good album, but my personal point of view says that I'm not a very big fan of this album. Here you can find the Hellraiser, a great song with Lemmy, and it came out also in the album of Motorhead 1916. Very, very good song. Zakk Wylde also was the guitarist here, and Rob Trujillo the bassist. Yeah. Next place, No Rest for the Wicked. Also a very nice album. And now, next place, Osmosis of No Rest of the Wicked came out when in 1988. The next place, Osmosis of 1995, one of the first albums that I listened of Ozzy Osbourne as Ozzy Osbourne. Great album. For me, one of the greatest albums of him, of his career. And now the four foremost great albums of Ozzy. In the fourth place, one of the greatest albums that many people prefer it, even in the first place, and understand them. Blizzard of Oz. You know, in the beginning, the name of the band was to be Blizzard of Oz, and in the last hour they changed it as Ozzy Osbourne, the name of the band. Great songs here as Crazy Train, one of the most famous album songs of him. I don't know. Suicide Solution with all his story, its story about this song. Mr. Crowley, Revelation, Mother Earth. Yeah. In the third place, Diary of a Madman, the second album of him of 1981. Randy Rhoads here is the great guitarist. Great also album. In the second place, The Ultimate Sin. The fourth album came out in 1986. For me, so The Ultimate Sin, one of the greatest songs of the Ozzy career. This is the cover art, the greatest cover art, maybe the best cover art of all his albums. And if you understand, in the first place, in my personal point of view, the third album of him, Bark at the Moon. Ozzy here comes as the werewolf. Also the album with greatest songs, Bark at the Moon, You're No Different, Now You See It, Now You Don't, Forever, Waiting for Darkness, Spiders. Great also great songs, great album. So this is my personal point of view, but also the four first albums, they're very close to each other. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. He will live as a legend inside our hearts forever and ever. From Israel, from Jerusalem, stay metal and stay heavy.